What's happening right now?
I'm just scared, George. I'm scared. I know
What are
you
you
are
scared
too.
of?
The
What are
blue
you scared
tape.
of?
It's blue tape, George. It's
Oh
blue.
no, not the painter's tape!
It's blue painter's tape, George. If there's
Oh
an
my goodness.
emergency, if I have to pick my nose, if I have to open a door to rescue myself, if there's a fire, George, it's blue painter's tape, George. It's not brown tape. It's blue tape. George, I think
Blue tape.
you're gonna have to sing tonight, George.
No.
George, it's blue
You're gonna
tape.
you're gonna have to bust out of the blue tape so that you can play
George,
the guitar.
it's blue tape. Impenetrable, makes people cry, brings them to their knees in states of emergencies. It's blue tape, George.
But it's just painter's tape and it rips pretty easily.
George.
Happy Sunday Fun Day, everyone. Welcome back to our weekly live stream where we get to hang out with you and read your comments in the live chat if you're tuning in real time at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do have a dilemma tonight because Jeremy is terrified out of his mind because he's got rippable, he has rippable blue painter's tape around his wrist. Therefore, he cannot play the guitar for you tonight. But don't you worry. Don't you worry. I have a backup plan.
You're going to sing?
I have a backup plan, and I'm going to give you guys the remix of a song.
You mean
the remix of a song?
JK?
And here we go.
JK understood the assignment. Yeah!
Well, we moved into a town with no
one around, all to get away from the snow.
We put in a 2-inch line. Everything was fine until they tried to steal all our gold. Mary was in town hall, couldn't do math at all. Just kept calling the law. Sending emails to Worm, hoping he confirmed no one would know about her flaws. Now Lynette and John, they're running their con, trying to get any money.
They can.
Around them dies, and she fake cries. They'll end up by a river in a van. Well, there were signs all over town. Now they're taken down, and everybody knows who done it. Well, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. They're living in a shed with no permit.
Well,
Russ was texting Don, telling him it's on. Let's give the world a show. We always wanted fame. Now they know our names in the meetings. Always vote. No, now they're all making threats. The fans are taking bets. Who's gonna be the next in jail? Will it be Mary, Russ, or Don? Lynette, or Lips, or John in a second trip?
Blue tape!
Oh, we just know it won't be. What the hell's? We just know it won't be. What the hell's? There's been so many judges, and we don't hold no grudges. But man, that first one was a flip. He prattled on and took away our fun, proving how biased was his ego trip. Now came the dirty lawyers, all chasing tails like voyeurs, foaming at the mouth for the legal grift. One by one they fell like flies on a windowsill, face down into a pile of their own shit. And now this song is up to date, no doubt more will come late as the crazies pour out of their holes. Heed to this one warning, from dusk until morning, stay away from the nutters cross the road. Oh, we just know it won't be. What the hell's? We just know it won't be. What the hell's?
All right.
By the power of JK's music, blue tape is gone. Oh my goodness, it saved me. It saved me. It brought me to tears, and I was scared in case an emergency happened, but it saved me.
Give it
Wow.
up for JK. JK had your back. Don't you worry. He had your back.
JK understood the assignment, which, by the way, in regards to blue tape, George, don't you have a little something, a little picture of blue tape? Let's throw that up right now.
I do, but I thought we could share some other things before we got to the blue tape, if that's okay with you.
I think blue tape's appropriate right now. Let's jump to it real quick. You can come to it again, but blue tape, the power of blue tape. Thank you so much, PJ Sarcasm, and others as well. I see gifted memberships. Thank you so much. So let's be very, very clear. This is a picture from the process server. This is proof of service from Dodgy Robbie, who fled the process server, who is well aware of the process server. And in the state of Florida, just like Paint Chips fled. By the way, I don't even know if we shared this yet. When he was served at the federal courthouse, he ran. Now, I know what you're thinking. That fat Paint Chip can run. He declared he wasn't Paint Chips and he ran, literally ran away. These people are cowards, complete and total cowards. So for Dodgy Robbie to go online and live and cry and complain about painter's tape holding his federal paperwork to his gate, we've been there plenty of times. First of all, the driveway is not his driveway. All right. He has a right of way to get to his property, as that driveway or road goes to other people's property. Other people actually own that. The gate is chained and locked with padlocks. So to get online and claim, what if there was an emergency? The process server is going to jail for painter's tape is quite frankly one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. Both of them have been served, both Paint Chips and Dodgy Robbie. Both of them have evaded service, just like Stupid Dave is doing right now in his own little prison that he won't leave. And so
why don't they just man up instead of boasting about not being served and just waive service like you did for this particular lawsuit?
We got one more who won't leave his house, and his cohabiter is slamming the door in the process server's face. So why don't you man up? You said you grew a pair. Stupid Dave, man up. You said you wanted this. You said, come and serve me. Man up. Why don't you do what I did with Lips? Why don't you do what I did, waive service, and say, I'm in.
Wait, hold on. She's got a new name. It's no longer legally Lips. It's now legally Flips.
Flip. Yes. Yeah. Like legally flips. Because she did flip on the anti-what the hell's ecosystem, which we'll get into. All right. What do you want to get into first here tonight, George?
So
there's a lot.
Can we touch base back on Stupid Dave? He tried to make a peace treaty with you by saying, let's go have a Whopper at Burger King, didn't he? After he grew that pair?
Yeah, that was his solution. A Whopper.
To go to Burger King. Go to Burger King.
I'll tell you what, Stupid Dave, because you fear Sunday night live streams so much and you're watching, why don't you tell me where to be, what time, and I'll meet you there for that Whopper. And I can assure you, you're going to get a bigger Whopper than you've ever got in your life. So meet me there, and I'll be there at the designated time. You want to come too, George?
Can I?
Yeah.
Can D and I come? I no
Absolutely.
Onions though on my Whopper. No onions.
Well, I don't want onions or pickles.
No tomatoes on D's Whopper at Burger King.
I just want meat and cheese and ketchup. That's how I get it.
We can have a meet and greet at Burger King, Stupid Dave.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's have a meet and greet. We'll have a meet and greet Burger King.
He could sign your Warner Brothers shirt. He could even autograph the back. We'll even bring the silver Sharpie.
Now, the biggest Whopper that's coming is the process server is going to be there as well. So you can eat as many Whoppers as you want. But 350 pounds, I think your problem is probably getting out the door and through the Burger King door. That would probably be my guess. All right. So yeah. I've heard all that.
Did get served? You know who did get served on a specific special date of that entire group?
Yeah, I remember that was your birthday. It was glorious. Oh,
That was awesome. I was really hoping that Deuce would get sanctioned that week.
Yeah,
that would be a nice birthday present. But Felisa got served on my birthday. That was just as good. Not as good, but just as good. But this is the same woman that boasted that they were going to depose me 11 times. Here we are.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yet to be deposed. These are the same
Not
people.
Not even once.
These are the same people who constantly, and we have hours upon hours upon hours upon hours, same people who constantly said they can't wait to be served, can't wait to be deposed, can't wait to be in court, and yet they're all dodging. Isn't that interesting?
They're prolonging the process versus standing up for the person they're allegedly their voice. Wouldn't you want to prove Lynette's innocent and Crook's innocence by speeding up the process so that they could be left alone and justice be served one way or the other? Instead, they're prolonging it, causing more stress onto them, but yet they're supposed to be their voice and they're supposed to be for them. But also, I thought I heard that Brave Bonehead also said he wasn't going to help Lynette any longer.
That is true. I've heard the same thing. He said, I am no longer helping her at all. I heard the exact same thing.
The same guy that instructed people to follow us while we went shopping. Yeah. I don't recall ever instructing anybody to follow Lynette or Crook or to do whatever it is he prompted people to do.
Same guy who said, thank you for all the prayers. And then in the next breath said, all you haters can go to HE double hockey stick. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a stand-up guy right there. By the way, I want to be clear. I've never wished anybody to go to HE double hockey stick. As a matter of fact, the burden on my heart is these people are so lost. Even though they claim to know God, even Lynette today, Otter Creek's own minister, who has told us time and time and time again, she's no longer going to cuss anymore. She posted a TikTok video stating that she goes, it says, how do you sleep at night? And it goes, I go to bed naked so people can kiss the @ sign double, well, the bad word, the A word. And that's your Otter Creek minister right there. She goes to sleep naked at night so people can kiss her. And horrific.
Ray Bonehead also had zero decency when I had my last cancer scare and made it sound like I was faking it. Turns out that the pain and the lumps ended up benign, but I am required to go back every 6 months because the pain and the lumps can automatically shift to something else. Yeah. But Bruce wants us to be decent, but yet that entire side was never decent.
That really sounds like Jeannie Stark. Be decent. Thank you so much, Kasha. Just J Hip, appreciate it as well. J Hip says he may represent us, but there is a lawsuit coming, and legally flips. Absolutely has flipped. And we are going to get into some of that. But before we do, our new total, I just paid another $30,000 yesterday. Our new total in legal fees right there, $390,000 right now. $390,000. We have yet to be in a courtroom to receive an actual decision and judgment. But I can clearly tell you, for all of these freaks and fools, these individuals who continue to break the law, they will be held accountable in the court of law. Yeah. And that goes with legally flips as well. And we're going to talk about a lot of the things that she flipped on them about here tonight.
I do want to mention, had Lynette not have taken the time to write the defamatory signs calling you an Ohio arpist, we wouldn't have never taken her to court. We wouldn't be in this position. We would have went about our lives like normal. And we wouldn't be in this situation.
Just would have left us alone and stopped building defamatory Facebook pages. Here's another funny thing. You got Deuce out there going, I'll give $1,000 to anybody who can, which, by the way, that $1,000 that he's offering as a reward to anybody who can give me a screenshot of them calling Jeremy a not nice thing. Well, hold a second. We've got major issue here where Lynette and Crook have created how many Facebook pages and deleted them all, which will be brought up in court. Now, that's not to say that we haven't already shown. We already have shown screenshots. We've already shown the proof. It's in videos. It's actually in Busted Biscuit Boys video. It's in the signs. It's been all over. And so if they would have never done this, they would never be in this situation. And if the other freaks and fools didn't want to run after fame and fortune, we wouldn't be laughing at them, would we, George?
It's kind of hard not to. The sad part is that entire side, they don't have a sense of humor. And so if they find humor in you doing things to animals, that's not funny. That's not funny. One, it's not true, and it's not funny.
Well,
we, on the other hand, they can laugh at us and mock us all they want. People have been doing it for years, long before we even moved to Otter Creek. But you know what?
And none of them were in a court case.
No. But we made a joke of it. We would mock it. And so we wouldn't spiral out of control and write defamatory signs about someone because she couldn't. Jeremy told her she couldn't put a donation box up at our meet and greet for our fans, and she spiraled because we told her, no, that's not the appropriate time for you to put up a donation box. You did hire a petting zoo. They didn't have a donation box up.
No, they didn't.
Because they know.
Here's the other thing. Why would Deuce go out there and say, I'll give you $1,000? Which, by the way, a bankruptcy lawyer does not cost $6,000. So you should have major questions about where this money is coming from. Why hasn't Deuce come out yet and said his clients did not write those signs? Deuce has yet to come out and say Lynette didn't write those signs. His defense has been nobody saw them.
Or they weren't up long enough, and only 3 people saw them. Listen, one person is enough, and the intention behind it is enough. It's the intent behind it. And yes, where is that $1,000 coming from? When he lied to the courts and said he couldn't afford it and that he couldn't come to Pensacola because he feared being arrested. And then is that $1,000 coming from the pool that he raised for the Ohio attorney because no Ohio attorney is willing to represent her?
Oh, did
you hear the new $1,000 is coming from?
Did you hear the new talking point that they're saying now Deanna wrote them? Now, doesn't that destroy the whole aspect?
I thought it was Madam Mayor.
Oh, Madam Mayor. Okay, now they're saying Madam Mayor wrote them. Okay, all right, you corrected me. And so now they're saying Madam Mayor wrote them. Doesn't that destroy their whole narrative that I wrote them? I mean, they literally said they hired an expert, yet they never gave any information whatsoever in discovery with this expert in federal court. They are going to lose everything. If they were innocent, they would have given all the evidence. So now they're changing the narrative to Madam Mayor wrote them?
Yeah, so doesn't that kind of debunk their handwriting expert? Because according to them, they were so confident that it was you. And if that were the case, wouldn't the red marker, the second author, look just like Crook's handwriting if we were trying to set them both up? We still have no idea who the author is for the second set of signs with the red markers.
George, this is why we laugh at them so much. As a matter of fact, Deanna has not authored any signs whatsoever, but she has created a new video. I would love to see that right now. Adam, thank you so much. Yeah, they better Shrek themselves before they wreck. Well, too late for that, George. They done Shrek themselves.
This shirt is going up for auction tonight. We did put the link in the live chat if you were tuning in. We also have this going up for auction tonight.
Oh, you think you got Muppets? Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
Those are going up. You guys want your own playing cards? Those are going up for sale on our Whatnot. We're going to be launching that tonight.
Yeah. You know
when
why?
Muppets unite. Muppets unite.
Love laughing at Deuce. If anything, Deuce has been great for a laugh. As a matter of fact, George, why don't you bring that video up right now? Good segue.
right.
If you don't know, Deuce last week was screaming and yelling at his own anti-What the Hale's ecosystem and going, they're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. Yeah. Not only are we, the entire planet is.
All right. This is, should I fast forward?
To where you see the sparks.
Okay. Hang on a
Do the
second.
spots.
I'm getting instructions on where to start this. Yeah.
They're laughing at us. They're laughing at us. Yeah, of course we're laughing. You're a fool. Guess what happens to fools? You get laughed at. This is what you wanted. You wanted fame, Deuce. You wanted fame. You got it.
did.
The world
did.
is laughing at you.
And then he ran away. He ran away.
Well, that wouldn't have been the first time he's done that. And look at Legally Flips running away now as well. Who do you think will be next? Who do you think will be next?
All right.
We're all laughing at Deuce. All laughing at Deuce. And why don't you guys laugh with us?
Let's begin this ballad of the bluffers, bumblers, and bubbles as he whines. They're laughing
at us.
Once in a town not too far nor too near lived a fellow with smoke clouds and half-baked ideas. He wore wrinkled suits and had dreams made of gold, but the world only saw a tale poorly told. With a nose like a hook and a head full of schemes, he thought he was smarter than all he had seen.
I'm a man of the law.
He would proudly declare, while skipping the rules like they weren't even there. They're laughing at us. He stomped and he cried. He thought he'd be feared, but got mean worldwide. They're laughing at us. Oh, bless his heart. He can't take a joke, but he sure played the part. He struts with flair, but nobody's fooled. He and his gang are from a shallow gene pool. They're laughing at us, and maybe they should. He tried to be great, but he never was good. He gathered a crew with hands not so clean, misfits and misers with get-rich-quick dreams. They plotted, they puffed, and they whispered at night how they'd ride someone's coattails straight into the light. They built up a show with some borrowed flair, where truth was a ghost and falsehood was air. Their tales were tall and their morals were thin, and coins from the kind-hearted slowly rolled in. But they're laughing at us. He stomped and he cried. He thought he'd be feared, but got mean worldwide. They're laughing at us. Oh, bless his heart. He can't take a joke, but he sure played the part. He struts with flair, but nobody's fooled. He and his gang are from a shallow gene pool. They're laughing at us, and maybe they should. He tried to be great, but he never was good. There's a fat flea who shouts, choose cows and coughs, claiming she's queen of PR and all laws. She talks like she's trained with a college degree, but she submits her case using ChatGPT. She laughs when she lies, and she lies nonstop, a giggle with every fact she tries to drop. The crowd plays along as her story implodes, cause they're laughing at her and she don't even know. They're laughing at us. He stomped and he cried. He thought he'd be feared, but got mean worldwide. They're laughing at us. Oh, bless his heart. He can't take a joke, but he sure played the part. He struts with flair, but nobody's fooled. He and his gang are from a shallow gene pool. They're laughing at us, and maybe they should. He tried to be great, but he never was good. The gator boy barks with a puffed out chest, talking about what he is gonna do next. He threatens and roars like he's setting things straight, but when folks come a knocking, he's locked behind gates. He talks a big talk from behind a screen, says he's feared in the streets but ain't ever been seen. All talk, no walk, just hot swamp air, and the crowd's laughing loud cause he's never there. They're laughing at us. He stomped and he cried. but he sure played the part. He struts with flair, but nobody's fooled. He and his gang are from a shallow gene pool. They're laughing at us, and maybe they should. He tried to be great, but he never was good. Then one fine day on a stream full of lies, they waited for fame but heard only sighs. The audience chuckled, then giggled, then roared, made Bubbles confused, he was terribly floored. He turned to his crew with a pitiful cry.
The nerve of these people, I don't see why.
But when he looked close at the gang he had made, there was no indication he'd ever get paid. They're laughing at us, the plan's gone poof. The only thing grand is his wild little spoof. They're laughing at us, and what a surprise. You can't con the world with delusional eyes. He can't take a jest, but he'll take the fall, right into the arms of a late night call. You're under arrest. The cuffs gave a click, and that long crooked nose twitched one final tick. They're laughing at us, and they'll laugh some more, 'cause fairy tale fraud is still fraud at its core. So if ever you dream of a shortcut to fame, just make sure your nose doesn't grow with the game. For heroes are made with heart, not with fuss and schemes. Well, Bubbles, yours was a bust.
Woo!
And that was made by yours truly, Flippin' Adventures, Diana.
Yeah, na. Hey,
She's had some really good ones, but that one's hilarious. They're laughing at us.
so considering the bust, I know you got timeline you want to go through. We got to get to Legally Flips, okay? And we
Okay.
can't go extra because we have an amazing auction tonight.
We
So
do.
what I'm going to do is simply, originally what I was going to do is just share what has transpired with Legally Flips and her husband Michael. Now, here's one of the things, my presumptions that has been proven false, okay? My presumption was that Michael had no idea what his wife was doing. And come to find out, Michael knows everything of what his wife is doing. As a matter of fact, he has been a part of the conversations with Legally Flips. And a vital part of the conversations, it is actually he who started the conversations. And so the aspect of me thinking that Michael wasn't a part of anything, completely and totally false, which in all reality, I think should incriminate Michael even all the more. Knowing that his wife does this constantly. As a matter of fact, George, you have some information on what Legally Flips has done in the past. Can you share that with us really quick before we get into conversations as she's flipping?
Yep. She does have a history of filing frivolous lawsuits, and it's all public record. And so I've taken the time, with the help of someone, that someone knows who they are, and we appreciate you. And it's a long list of frivolous filings that she's done on her own family, not just us.
Family and clients. How despicable.
Yeah. Her own
How
husband.
despicable. Husband, family members, clients. As a matter of fact, her story reminds me the same as Lynette. Family has reached out to us completely and totally supportive of what's happening on our end of things, and stating that nobody has ever kept them accountable before. I'm talking about Lynette and Legally Flips, and that we are the first people to stand up to this horrific insanity, and they are completely and totally supportive of the direction we're headed.
So here's the list right here. And so you see how long it is? There's 20 charges in here. 20.
It's almost as long as our driveway.
So if you look, and I redacted her name and her husband's name because I don't want to give them any type of promotion, but those of you who know her full name, but let's just call her Leslie, and her husband's Michael. Lisley or Lili, either one. She's got the word lie in her name. So March of 25, she files domestic violence with children, which was voluntarily dismissed, which means she tried to file a protective order
Against her
on
husband.
her husband. So we jumped down to dissolution of marriage with children, February of 25. This isn't in
Here.
order of dates. Which this is still pending. This right here is still pending.
Which is interesting because Michael is actually her representative lawyer, and this is a major conflict of interest within the suit. And so this is absolutely going to be pursued legally as well. But keep going.
So here's her versus you. At L means there's a ton of people listed, not just you. And we'll go into who she has listed into that lawsuit, which was voluntarily dismissed this week. You have made a post about that. This was May 19th of 2025. Then she's got negligence other against ABC Legal, her against ABC Legal Services. This is a company that was hired to serve her and her husband because their house is going into foreclosure, from my understanding. This was
Correct.
April of this year. April of this year.
By the way, these public records is from the docket, the court docket. We are in possession of, we had to pay over $300 for all the public records that have to do with Leslie and with Michael in their county. Not only that, we are in possession of the public records with Dodgy Robbie as well, the calls to Sumter County Sheriff and what happened there. All of that's coming soon. All right, feel free.
So here I find this sus. She did a name change back in November of 2024. Why is she doing a name change? Again, if it's to divorce her husband and she used him as her representative when they're in the middle of a lawsuit, conflict of interest much? So here we have another dissolution of marriage with children. This was October of 24, again, voluntarily dismissed. And then we have another dissolution of marriage with children, voluntarily dismissed. This was July of last year. Here we've got domestic violence with children back in July of last year, right around the time that she filed for divorce, dismissed after the hearing. So in other words, she didn't have enough evidence to get a protective order against her own husband. And then here we go. She's got a libel slander case, which is the type of lawsuit she put you in. Again, this was against the bank that's going after them because their house is in foreclosure. The court dismissed it because she didn't serve anybody after 120 days. This was November of 2024.
She didn't even pay the $400+ to serve the defendants in this case, which she never intended to anyway, until I waived service and said, you're not getting away with this.
She paid $4.
Which, by the way, I'm going to share this up front. She has offered to pay all my legal fees in regards to this up to the point, and I have denied that. But with the statement that they don't have any money, but they will pay my legal fees up to this point of what she's cost us, which I will get to more of that later.
So here is, see where it says Leslie to Seacoast National Bank for libel and slander. Here they are suing her and her husband because of foreclosure. This is July of 24. So are they squatting?
Well, I think this is extremely important because we were told last night that she's in Europe, specifically Italy, but we're going to get to more of that later.
I mean, I wouldn't want an attorney that's squatting. All right, so here we have
George,
another.
Hold a second. Speaking of squatting, don't you think it hilarious that the walrus, the head flea, put out a video called Rent Free when this woman has been kicked out of place after place after place for not paying her rent? Rent free. She's a squatter, and she puts out a video called Rent Free. My goodness, it's her.
She's a serial squatter. She's a serial squatter and has been evicted multiple times, more than this many times.
Yes.
All right. So back to her frivolous lawsuits and her history of doing this to other people, not just us. Here she files a libel slander, a lawsuit against her own family. This one is her own family right here.
Yes.
back in December of 23.
His family too.
And she includes her mother. Her own mother is in this lawsuit. And see where it says et al? That means multiple people are listed. Her own mother's in this lawsuit. Her mother-in-law is in his lawsuit. Her niece, her nephew, her husband's brother, family. She sues her own family. Like, how sick is that? Again, the court dismissed it because she did not serve not one person within 120 days.
That's interesting that Vomit is making post of his disgust of her for being so weak. He's attacking her, which, by the way, she has stated publicly that Vomit brought her into this. But I'm also going to share with you that Deuce tried to get Michael, her husband, to represent him, Deuce, in federal court, and to get representation for Lynette in federal court well before Vomit pulled her into this. So the timeline doesn't timeline based on what we know and have been told and the information that we have in hand.
All
So
right.
to be clear, Deuce wanted Michael and Leslie to represent both him and Lynette in federal court. And they said, Hales to the no. And now they're going to still be in court. Keep going.
All right. So then keep going. She's got some traffic violations. Who cares about that? Here we've got she filed a stalking lawsuit against Vera, which Vera was a former employee. This was dismissed after the hearing. Again, she had no proof and couldn't get an injunction against anybody.
Are you going to put it back up on the screen?
Yes.
There you go.
So here's this one right here. She tried to get an injunction on somebody for stalking. And this person right here, this lawsuit was a former employee. This was dismissed after the hearing because she didn't have enough proof that this person was stalking. This was March of 21. Here, there's a Steve that she sued for stalking, also dismissed after the hearing back in February of 21. And then here she's got the former employee et al. She included numerous people for libel and slander. The day after it was dismissed, she filed another lawsuit, which ended up being voluntarily dismissed.
But Vomit calls her weak? How could Vomit call her weak and say if she can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen? It looks like she spends all of her time in the kitchen, not Italy and Europe.
Yes. And then when she voluntarily dismissed your libel slander lawsuit, this one right here fell off the docket. But don't you worry, we have screenshots. Here's another domestic violence with children injunction that she tried to file on her own husband back in October of 24. Again, dismissed after the hearing. So let's do a quick count. I know a lot of you at home counted this too. So domestic violence with children.
No count.
Three times she tried to file. Three. All within a year. And then if you counted dissolution of marriage with children, three must be her number. Three, which one is still pending. And in her one court filing, she told the courts that she has attempted to file for divorce 8 times. 8 times. And then if you look at her libel slander history, she's filed 3 lawsuits. 2 were voluntarily dismissed, and 1, the courts closed because she didn't serve anybody within 120 days. The courts dismissed it. Then if you look at, and we may go over it, but back on June 5th of this year, she voluntarily dismissed without prejudice. She voluntarily dismissed Megan, Tug, and Just Jay because they were included on the lawsuit as well.
And then did what?
She re-added them, but I don't have a date of that. But I ran out of time before we went live. And then July 17th of 2025 is when she voluntarily dismissed the lawsuit along with all the other people that's in it completely. But what I noticed is in the header, she didn't say whether it was with prejudice or without prejudice. It just says voluntarily dismissed. She had one negligence lawsuit, a name change, which I find weird, a foreclosure lawsuit, and then two stalking lawsuits, both dismissed after the hearings in 21. And so with her, she tried to change her story to say that she's divorcing her husband because they want to manipulate the law to protect their assets. Then why are you filing for injunctions and then filing for divorce 8 times?
And
So
domestic violence with children. You don't do
Yeah.
that. You just go, we're going to file for a dissolution.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Right.
I know. Our thumbnail tonight says we won in court. We did. We won in court. She dismissed. We won. Myself, George, Just J Hip, Tug, that umbrella guy, Megan Fox, Shizzy Wisnut. We have all won. So when a filing is dismissed, you win. All right. Same thing as what's happened with Lynette. She is dismissed and we won. That would be the thumbnail case. Or with Madam Mayor and Brett with the Trespass 5 and the others, including Corporal Gregory. They won. It's dismissed. Except Lynette's not out of the woods yet. Now, if you listen to Deuce, he told everybody, no, it's done. There's nothing else. Wrong. And it's not done with Legally Flips either. It's not by any stretch of the imagination done with Legally Flips. So last night, there was a recording, and I'm going to do quotes in recording because I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it is AI or if it's real. I don't know if Legally Flips is lying to us or is lying to Fleesa and the others, the anti-what the Hales, trying to play both sides to cover herself on both sides to limit liability because she is in a tremendous amount of it. But what I do know is what she told us in negotiations, which she reached out in regards to that. My initial email to her was noticing that she took down 4 defamatory YouTube pages, and which I emailed Michael and said, you missed this, this, and this, which then I got the, I'm so sorry, I'll drop the lawsuit. My response was, in both of those, even when I said you missed this, you're still going to court. You are being sued. And when she sent that, it's you're still going to court. You are being sued. And then I gave Randy the A-OK to go ahead and contact Michael, which was rather interesting. Very, very interesting. So here's what I can share with you. And one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to go through I thought it would be more fun because there was a phone recording played last night. And if I go through the phone recording and debunk the phone recording, whether it was real, whether it's fake, whether she's lying to us, whether she's lying to the anti-what the Hales. But she says, my life with my family, but I'm doing this recording because I care about Lisa. Okay, so I want everybody to understand this. I'm not taking the time out of my day right now on vacation in Europe for 2 weeks. Because let's stop right there. Here's what she told us about Fleesa. She told us that Fleesa sent her a message saying, if you're not on the live stream with her, that there will be consequences, which then Legally Flips blocked Fleesa on the phone and went into a 5-day depression. So I want to be very clear. There are hundreds of text messages and emails. Now, not all of them are Fleesa telling everybody what to do, but it is without a doubt Fleesa is telling everybody these are the talking points that you need to hit on with Jeremy. Can you say conspiracy? Can you? By the way, all the anti-what the Hales members that are watching right now, you know it's true. And you know she put you and did you dirty. Oh, and she's going to get it. I promise you. Not for you, but for what she's done to us. And so she has told us straight up that she is not okay with what Fleesa has done. As a matter of fact, she even admitted that what Luthman did with the video with me and Megan Fox is revenge porn. And so she 100% has admitted it, that it's wrong, and she's not okay with what these people are doing, which is really interesting because she has promoted it and she's done to the umpth degree of what these people have done. That's what I find the most interesting. So number one, she tells us she doesn't like Lisa. She hates Deuce, hates him. hates him. She's not okay with what Luthman done, agrees that it's illegal and it's revenge porn. And when we get in here and she says, I'm taking time out of my day right now, I'm on vacation in Europe 2 weeks. That is a complete and total lie. I'm quoting timestamps on this phone message. Complete and total lie. The phone conversation happened while her and Michael were at home with kids screaming in the background. They are not anywhere. As a matter of fact, let's keep something in mind. Just days before, she's posting short videos on how to trespass and steal from the Hard Rock Cafe in Orlando. That is theft. Not paying for a service, not paying for an item. There's two ways to make money. You offer an item or a service. Not paying is theft. She's posting videos of stealing. All right, so first of all, she's posting videos of stealing and encouraging others to steal. She's also, and they have put in their filings, they're indigent. In other words, same as Lynette, they have no money. They filed for bankruptcy. You see what's happening with the house. And we also know that she promoted to everybody. She's supposed to be at the whistleblowers conference right now in Washington.
So how is she in Italy?
Special speaker. She is a special speaker at the whistleblowers conference in Washington this week. How's she doing that? But she's in Italy.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Dee has a good point. Maybe Legally Flips is at an Olive Garden and thinks that she's in Italy.
That could one of her personalities. Very could be. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not taking time out of my day right now on my vacation in Europe for 2 weeks. She is not. She's in Orlando. She's at home. Complete and total lie. Whether Fleesa did this in AI because Leslie blocked her, which is what Legally Flips told us, that she blocked Fleesa. And I have no doubt that she probably did. Or whether
she's
this
playing
is real
both sides.
she unblocked and she's playing both sides trying to limit her liability, which I could believe that as well. And she says, this loser, Jeremy Hales, has everything to do with the fact that I care about Lisa. That's odd because she said nothing about that. As a matter of fact, she said she's scared of Lisa and the threats that Fleesa have made toward her, which is odd considering all she did. Fleesa is a toothless, on the verge of homeless, hasn't even paid her landlords, and Flips is afraid of Fleesa versus somebody who's a self-made man who will not back down when he's been wronged. Interesting. All right. I want nothing to do with the fact I care about Fleesa. I don't believe that at all. And I believe what she stands for. And I guarantee you, she told us on the phone that she is not okay with what these people are doing. Now, again, she could be saying that just to tickle our ears. And if you understand tickle our ears, that's part of the Bible. And so trying to tickle our ears to tell us what we want to hear. So there's really no way to know what's absolute truth in this. There is no such thing as my truth. There's only absolute truth, which is the truth. And we don't know exactly what it is. We know there's a recording that was played last night, and we know what we were told. All right, first and foremost, whatever email was sent to Jeremy, that was a response. That was not a spontaneous apology. And she says, okay, I knew that response would be led to a jury, and I wanted him to tell the jury what a jerk off this guy is. Really? By the way, it was an apology, and she wanted out of the court case. Now, you're going, why does she want out of the court case? Well, look at her track record. But it goes beyond that. She's applying, if this is even true, she's applying to the New York State Bar. Now, Fleesa should probably be shaken right now because how in the world would I know that? Because Fleesa knows, Deuce knows, Vomit knows, they all know that I shouldn't know that. And yet I do. So she is actually applying to the New York State for a bar license. Fat chance, let me say it again, Fleesa chance of that ever happening. My goodness, with her track record, can you imagine her practicing law in the state of New York? And according to her, the bar is starting to investigate the lawsuit that she brought on myself, Tug, Megan, Jay, George, Shizzy, and she wants it gone. Well, it's not leaving by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, it's going to get very big. And when you bring a frivolous lawsuit, a malicious lawsuit with no merit whatsoever against 6 people, you better believe 6 people are coming for you legally. And so she is claiming that she is trying to get licensed in the state of New York. And she doesn't want this anymore because the bar is actually asking questions about it. That's odd because the bar is going to know about your association with Fleesa, with Deuce, and all these other fools as well. Okay, let's keep going. This guy was so. This guy. Oh, by the way, she said she wanted this in front of a jury. Don't worry, it will be, along with everything else. Every video, every website, every fake email address, every fake name, every fake YouTube, every single thing she's done. Which, by the way, we've also been told by Vomit that she deleted all of her social media presence. That is another bold-faced lie. As a matter of fact, I already know other ones that are still exist. She has not deleted everything. She has not deleted everything by any stretch of the imagination. Now, if you know anything about Legally Flips, she has as many accounts out there as she probably does personalities. And so it's insane to even try and keep track of everything. And by God's grace, I have it all. And I didn't do it by myself. I did it with the help of wonderful people. And so we still have it, and she has not deleted all of her social media presence by any stretch of the imagination. There's still quite a bit out there. By the way, there's still video out there claiming she's still a lawyer. All right, let's keep going. I was kind in my response to this man. Oh, you're trying to tickle the ear to get yourself out of the situation you created. So she's scared. As a matter of fact, he's scared. They're both scared. Everything is going to come out now because she's not bringing the lawsuit. I'm bringing the lawsuit, and others are bringing the lawsuit. She is not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. She did this for character assassination. And what I mean by that is she wanted people to Google Jeremy Hales. She wanted people to go to jeremybhales.com. She wanted people to see the horrific things she said and did. She did it for character assassination to then delete it. That's malicious prosecution. She is being sued for malicious prosecution and damages on top of that for everything she did toward my business, toward me personally. And I'm not the only one suing. I bet you can all figure out who else is suing. As a matter of fact, the lawsuit is being filed tomorrow morning, first thing. If all demands are not met, and all demands have not been met yet. Now, while we have hundreds of text messages and emails between the anti-What the Hales ecosystem, we have yet to see things such as a formal apology online, denouncing the anti-What the Hales ecosystem. We have yet to see anything along those lines. All demands have not been met yet. And therefore, tomorrow morning, this lawsuit, malicious prosecution, and damages, not only by me, there is quite a few people she went after in this. She's being sued. While she has been cooperative on some things, she has not been cooperative on all things. I've yet to see a formal public apology. I've yet to see a denouncement of the actions and the words of these freaks and these fools, such as Deuce, which, if you hate him as much as you told us, Fleesa, if you hate her as much as you told us, Vomit, if you hate him as much as you told us, then it shouldn't be a problem getting online and doing a public apology and denouncement of what they've done. Shouldn't be an issue. Okay, let's keep going on and saying, no, that was a response to his email to my husband. Again, this entire time, I thought her husband knew nothing about this. As a matter of fact, I was under the impression that this woman is so unhinged that he may not even exist anymore. She might have. Remember what Lynette told me the first time I met her? She's like, I want John unalive. And I just sat there and I was so concerned that her husband may not even be with us. But he is. He knows all about this. And he's just as liable.
And he just as loony?
And he can't. He gave the phone. He started the conversation, gave the phone to Leslie, and then after the conversation, emailed and said, you can no longer talk to Leslie. All communication has to go through me. So I will say there is a level of loony. Any man that's ever going to tolerate this, as we looked at the court docket, yeah, he's got to be just as loony. But he is 100% in it as well. All right. And she goes on to say, my email to my husband could not respond because my husband is an attorney. He was represented by counsel. It would be unethical. That's so funny for her to say anything unethical, say that anything would be unethical with all of what they've done. Okay. I could just keep going and going and going and going through this ridiculous voice message. Again, I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's AI generated. I don't know if she's playing both sides. But here's what I do know. Legally Flips wants out, and she wants out in a hurry. Legally Flips wants to get licensed in the state of New York. And by all means, that should never happen. Legally Flips has shared with us some very, very, very incriminating things in regards to the anti-What the Hale's ecosystem. And I do believe she's probably trying to limit liability on both sides because they have just as much on her. There are other things that have been demanded. They have not been received yet. So we have all kinds of things right now, but we don't have everything. And so I want, well, she already knows what I want. And if it's not received, it will be filed first thing tomorrow morning. As a matter of fact, my legal team is already ready with the filing. It is being filed tomorrow morning, and it's not just me. And so there are multiple individuals. Keep in mind, she sued 6 people. She put 6 people on there, tried to character assassinate 6 people, and I'm the only person to date that went, bring it. You see, I don't cry about blue tape on my fence when I chain my fence and I padlock my fence. When somebody's doing me wrong, I bring them to justice. There's accountability. And so there's a tremendous accountability for her. We are also going to push to have her labeled as a vexatious litigant as well, which should be very easy because of everything she's done. And I will say
I do have a screen shot that I'd like to share of her admitting to doing all of this back in April of this year.
Okay.
Do we have time to share that real quick?
Go ahead.
All right, here we go. She's calling herself Lawyer Leslie. She retired in 2023. This was April of 25. She is no longer a lawyer. Why is she calling herself a lawyer? So I wanted to point that out. But here she clearly states, what I've done is I file a lawsuit and then I withdraw it, but I file it to get on the record, just as because it becomes public record at that point. So if if I'm being defamed or something, I can file it just enough so that you can look up my name, you can see, whatever, and then I withdraw because I don't want to go through the court system after that. I just don't trust the court system, and that was being a former lawyer. I just don't trust the court system whatsoever. So here's my question. If you're a former lawyer, why are you calling yourself Lawyer Leslie back in April? April of that year. And then here's her long list of filings.
Well, I know people are going, loose lips sink ships. I think it should be Botox lips sinks ships. But then again, if Fleesa were to get on any kind of cruise, that thing would sink without Legally Flips on it anyway. Or Stupid Dave, if he could actually, go outside, hiding from the sheriff. So, there's a tremendous amount of things I could share. The important things are, let me summarize this. The important things are, because we are running out of time. The important things are, Leslie doesn't want this on the books anymore. She's trying to get licensed in the state of New York. Never happened. It's never going to happen. I am filing first thing in the morning. It's already prepped. It's already ready until she meets all demands. And she hasn't. She's met some. I will give her that. She's met some. Now, the aspect of last night and whether this phone recording was real and she was trying to save face or whether it's AI generated, that doesn't give me very good faith that what she negotiated in good faith with us. Now, we have some things for sure. But again, I can't stress this enough. I've yet to see a public apology that the world can see and a denouncement of what the Hale's ecosystem has done. And there's more. There's absolutely more that we are asking as well. But tomorrow morning, if those things aren't met, the lawsuit moves forward, malicious prosecution, and I'm not the only one. As a matter of fact, I think I saw Jay Hip in here. Jay Hip is filing suit against Legally Flips as well. As a matter of fact, I think Megan Fox and that umbrella guy are filing lawsuit, malicious prosecution against Legally Flips. Oh boy, it is far from over. It's just beginning.
This is crazy. We've got Lynette calling Fleesa a liar this week. She was going to make a video about the horrible lies that was said about her. We've got Fleesa's husband threatening to throw Lynette overboard. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah.
They've been planning this cruise.
And then Lips told us that Fleesa told her, by the way, they did promise fame and fortune to everybody. And Fleesa told Legally Flips that she makes anywhere from $800 to $2,000 every night on YouTube. And that Lips would make the same money, $800 to $2,000. Why isn't Fleesa giving the money to build the barn? If she's so concerned, she's bragging to Legally Flips, stating that she makes $800 to $2,000 a night from these fools that are dumb enough to give to her. Why isn't she funding the barn? All right, we're running out of time. We've already ran out of time. There's so much more. So much more. Oh my goodness, there's so much more.
There is
The most important thing is all demands
right.
haven't been met. All demands haven't been met. Lawsuit is being filed first thing in the morning if demands aren't met by tomorrow morning, 9 a.m.
We'll see you guys on our live auctions. Good night, everyone. We'll see you there.